Hi friends, today I am talking about Unit 3, the lesson named Digital Learning. Lessons from online learning that should stick after pandemic. As we know all how we faced lots of problem for learning, especially in COVID-19 time. So this lesson focus on the pandemic situation, how we give an important to learn this online learning. One of the major changes that took place in the world as a result of COVID 19 was online education. It was an almost immediate shift. Institutions had to make this change quickly in order to keep education going. They did not want education to stop because most of us we face a lot of problems, especially going for educational institutions, schools, colleges became more problem in pandemic situation in COVID-19. So at the time alternative we can see only learning through online based education which makes the lots of changes. So that is the reason we have chosen in online education. Online education helped in bridging the physical distance between teachers and students. Teachers who had been teaching in the regular physical traditional mode had to put in a lot of effort and courage to adjust to digital teaching and learning. As we know that because most of teachers has been habituated through traditional method of teaching in the classroom. Even students more actively, interactively they feel happy to interact with teachers and learning, especially in the basis of traditional method of learning. But suddenly when the track has been changed, so at the time teachers and students felt a kind of uncomfortable learning through online from beginning. So they recorded lessons, posted videos and created online breakout rooms where a small group could meet before returning to the main meeting online class. They did all this with whatever technology was available. So here what they did is that because face-to-face interaction is not there in the classroom, so that is the reason most of teachers they used the methods like recording lessons, posted videos, and created some sort of important methods to understand easily for the students. So that is what happened through online. They did all this with whatever technology was available. So based on the technology, they used those methods. As a result, after the pandemic, physical classrooms have included digital teaching and learning materials using in internet. So not only those teaching resources, but also they have used the internet resources, various resources to improve educational quality education, giving the quality education in pandemic situation. There are no online classes now, but we do use the internet in the regular classes. Online classes and physical classes which use materials or resources from the internet are not the same. Though online classes took care of physical distance, they are not sufficient to take care of learner students' needs. So most of time online plays very important role to create the right platform to give education, but still there are some sort of problems we faced. Posting materials online, recording lectures and discussions are not sufficient. They do not provide support that the teacher can offer in a regular classroom. An environment for collaborated group learning along with the necessary assistance by the teacher is not possible in online classes. So most of the time the beautiful interaction has been missed. That's what we can see through online. And most of the discussions not yet be happened. So what have we learned about online education and what should we do now? Online learning is not a new concept at all. Athabasca University started the world's first online MBA, nursing and MEd programs more than 28 years ago. And today it is one of the Canada's leading universities, because not only today in COVID pandemic time we have started online process, but majority of the countries have been using, many years ago they started online learning. Experiencing online education highlights four distinct aspects, features of online learning which should stick remaining after the pandemic. They are first one, learning to learn online. The pandemic showed that one size first fits all education approaches do not cater to student needs. Younger learners may seek physical classes in order to socialize and to be able to get required help from the teacher. They also prefer the content to be delivered by the teachers. On the other hand, adult learners like university students appreciate prefer the convenience of connecting with the classmates and faculty online whenever and from whenever they want. Common equities like poor access to the internet, lack of financial resources, and the inability to comfortable use digital online facilities make online learning challenging. And also, however, online learning is useful for students who find it difficult to attend physical classes due to problems such as long distances, lack of classroom of facilities, lack of transport facilities, difficulty in traveling due to geographical barriers, etc. Other issues of inequality are also addressed via multimodal distance education, financial support facilities, and instructions about how to learn online. Since online education was used in an emergency due to pandemic, student and programs course needs were not given enough attention. One significant lessons that the pandemic has taught us is that all students must be prepared to learn whether online or in a physical classroom. Number 2, designing online teaching with purpose. An important part of quality education programs is that all the students participate actively, whether it is a traditional education or distance education, because students participation plays a very important role. If teaching has to be meaningful, it needs different approaches in different settings, situations. Online courses and teaching focus mainly on the learners, not on the content. They include collaborative learning groups where all the students are fully involved. This system encourages active learning. So the beginning they might feel a difficulty to learn, but later, group of people, automatically they started learning and they have, habituated in online learning mode. In order to produce effective online courses materials, they need an approach that involves both faculty and skilled course developers. It also takes several months to produce such course materials and needs extreme care and effort because everything has to be presented in a great detail. It includes everything that the teachers must say in a physical classroom. It needs to clearly describe all the course requirement and provide the links for student to access regarding videos and online resources. So that is the method they have been used. Because of the pandemic, teachers had to move from regular classroom delivery teaching to teaching with the help of technology, which was suitable for some people but was not able to cater to the unique learning needs of different learners. Technological tools combined with independent group work should be used in the physical as well as hybrid combination of online physical teaching classrooms. They should also include online teaching approaches that encourages active collaborative learning and choices made by students, because students involved very actively here. So third one, blending space of time online. Education during the pandemic popularized the vocabulary of synonyms. Learning at the same time at synchronizes different learners learning at different times, accessing materials when needed learning. So here what we speak, and while asynchronizes meant working immediately independently, usually with materials designed for a physical classroom. From now on, we need to think about how timing and presence impact learning. Then the last one we talk about COVID-19 began that this disruptions AI will continue it. The pandemic reveal how education approaches can change after instruction. Instructors had to search for innovative ways to improve learning outcomes outside the physical classroom. The Athabasca, a virtual cooperative programs, a course which combine classroom learning with a practical experience allowed the instructors to introduce a co-op program in the middle of pandemic. Students accessed a simulated work experience where the instructor plays a role of an employer and the students act as employees and do the tasks assigned by the employer. This was done in a paced structure irrespective of location. They were able to practice working as a team, problem solving, conflict resolution, ethical reasoning, and leadership. While working on a assigned project, they received immediate detailed feedback from an AI coach. This helped in doing extensive experiences and revisions in master's concepts, honored perfectly in reflective discussions with the instructor. Research suggests that adopting online and AI tools needs to be deliberate along with supportive digital infrastructure and highly responsive student support. If this is planned carefully and taken together, these steps improve on traditional approaches by making education truly open, accessible, and inclusive. So now the question to all the educators should be, how do we capitalize on, take advantage of this change caused by COVID-19 to build a better education system for this future? Thank you everyone.